Am I the asshole for continuing to let my ex-wife's autistic brother live with me after our divorce? My 42M ex-wife, 44F, and I recently separated. We were together for 26 years, we met in high school, and during that time her parents became unable to care for her brother Brody, 34M, who is autistic. Brody moved in with my wife and I 10 years ago, and while there was an adjustment period he lived with us happily since then. My marriage's deterioration was completely unrelated to Brody and was centered around my wife's emotional affair with a coworker. When deciding what to do about Brody's living arrangements, I stated that Brody could live with me, but my wife overrode me and demanded Brody come with her. I said I didn't think this was fair, because Brody is verbal. He stated his preferences were to stay at my house, his autism is fairly mild and he is capable of making his preferences known. My wife overrode him and took him with her when she moved out. However, since then she has called me asking me to come get him because he was giving her such a hard time, letting him stay the night for a few days, then a week, and now it's been a few months since he spent the night with her at her apartment. I consider Brody to be my brother too. I've known him since he was 8 years old. I very much have a strong bond with him and I'd be fine if he stayed living with me until I was old and gray. My ex and her family are very unhappy about this situation, but my argument is and continues to be if they care about his happiness they should listen to his opinions. He is an adult, just because he has autism doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings and preferences. Am I the asshole for letting my ex Bill stay against his family's wishes? Not the asshole. I actually think this is so sweet that you and Brody have each other. Not the asshole. If he's verbal, he can say exactly what he wants or not. Plus, you're willing to help him, he knows you, and you have known him for the majority of his life, so you know his little quirks. He's lucky to have you. NTA. He is 34 and can make the decision. The rest of the family is being controlling. Your wife betrayed you and you were still able to set aside your feelings about her to protect her brother. She is the one who caused the divorce and she cannot. And neither can her family. You are not the asshole. You are a good man and the world would be a better place if more men had your character. Not the asshole. Autistic people are people. He has articulated that he wants to be with you. His wishes should be respected, especially since you are willing to continue caring for him. Not the asshole. Seems like Brody's family is being rather controlling and maybe even a little condescending towards him. Only downside here is that they could possibly say hurtful things to him in private. Info: he is 34? Do they have power of attorney or anything? Is he mentally capable of making decisions and just needs some day-to-day help? Not the asshole all the way. You're a good man. You brother-in-law has a disability, but he's not a child. His preferences are valid, and matter. Info: is it about staying with you, or staying in his house? Not the asshole. You are a good person. Probably not going to be able to fight the family, unfortunately. Not the asshole. As you stated, your brother-in-law is an adult and can make his own decisions. His autism shouldn't even come into play and the fact that your ex overrode his wishes is quite worrying. It sounds like jealousy on her part because he wanted to stay with you. If you're both happy with your living arrangements, that's all that really matters. Nobody else gets a say in that. As an autistic person, we don't like change. He said what he wanted, and it was to stay with you. Not the asshole. Info: does he just want to stay at the house or with you? X: have you asked him if you were to move, would he follow you? What if you had another partner in your life? Not the asshole. He is able to express where he wishes to live and is an adult. Having autism does not mean he isn't allowed to make the decision. Not the asshole. He's 34, verbal and functional. If he wants to be your roommate, he seems capable of making that choice. I wouldn't want to live with the family that infantilized me or tried to imprison me either. Not the asshole. That's really sweet. I do wanna say being verbal is not the same as mild. You know him better. Obviously, just as a verbal autistic I have a ton of problems. And went undiagnosed and unhelped for my entire child and teenhood because I was a girl and verbal and social. Bad at being social but very social. Sorry about the rant. I just hate when people rate autism when it's very complex. We're good at one thing and bad at another. ETA: you are being great though. Treating him like a person. Not the asshole. Seems like the only one looking out for Brody's best interests is you. I'm sure if Brody came to you and said he'd like to go back to his sister's house, you wouldn't have any issues. You divorce wives, not family. Not the asshole. You and Brody have a successful relationship. It works for both of you. If that changes, then it changes, but for now why break a good thing? Not the asshole. He's an adult and made the decision about where he wants to live. His family sound like they aren't assuming he is competent enough to know what he wants, which is something a lot of autistic individuals deal with. Also, even if he didn't use spoken words and typed instead, his wishes should still be respected. Not the asshole. If he has the competency and capacity to make the decision himself, then that's all that matters. Not the asshole. And you, my good sir, are a good man. Not the asshole. What exactly are their reasons for not wanting him to stay with you? Seems like they are just fine with it when it's too difficult, but will still make you feel bad about it. Are there any financial issues involved here? Not the asshole. Brody may have autism, but he is a functional adult capable of making his own decisions. He wants to live with you. End of story. Not the asshole. An adult man is telling his family where he wants to live and they're overruling him. That is so incredibly disrespectful. No wonder he wants to live with you, because it seems like his family takes his autism as a reason to infantilize him. Not the asshole. He is an adult and he wants to make that choice to stay with you. And #X200B. Also, something in your post is bothering me. You say he is mild, but yet he is living with you? Is there something I am missing here? If he can't live alone, that doesn't sound mild. Mild is when you can live independently on your own and don't need assistance with living. NTA. Not the asshole. Your wife is an asshole and so are his family if they are not taking his opinion into account. Info. You describe Brody's autism as mild and high functioning. Is it possible that the best option for him might be to live independently? Not the asshole. I'm autistic as well and it makes me so happy that you're taking Brody's preferences into account. She's completely ignoring his desires and that's absolutely not okay of her. Not the asshole. It's his choice, the same as it would be a child in their teens choosing which parent to live with. I do feel the need to mention though that I really think you don't understand fairly mild autism. If he is high functioning, he should be able to live on his own. If he can't, then the layman's term you've used doesn't apply. Either way, you should really do some research into autism. Do not go to Autism Speaks. They want to practice eugenics against people with autism. Not the asshole. You have done Brody a service by validating his preferences and providing a space where he can be successful. The fact that you are his sister's ex is irrelevant. More people need to care. Not the asshole. You can challenge and become his guardian. And thank you from a mom of a man with autism. Less than 3. NTA. Brody is a grown adult who knows what he wants and is vocal about it. He can decide where he wants to live. Not the asshole. He's a person, not a possession. Someone should tell your wife's family that. If living with you is where he wants to be, then they gotta get over it. Not the asshole. Dude, you are allowing a grown man to live happily under your roof. Ex feels guilty and that is her issue. Brother shouldn't have to pay for her shame. Info. I don't exactly understand. Is he at your house or hers? If he isn't conserved, then not the asshole. If he is, you may be making the transition harder by offering this option. No matter what, it comes from a place of love, so not the asshole. Not the asshole. In my opinion, everybody else sucks. Families in breakups usually want to make a clean break and cut off the other side to make things simple for everyone involved. You allowing the brother to stay is forcing them to either cut off the brother or to interact with you. Regardless of your intentions being honorable, they see this as a huge power play. Not the asshole. He's perfectly capable of making his own decisions. If no court has deemed him mentally incompetent and unable to make his own decisions, nobody gets any say in this but him. This is his decision, and your ex doesn't have to be happoy about it. Unless she's been appointed his legal guardian, her wishes for his residence don't matter. NTA. He can make his own choices as an adult and sounds like he is happy with you and that you know what's best for him. It's like you're a stranger or that you taking him away from them. They should be happy he is happy. NTA. It is wonderful that you want to care for his needs and take his feelings into account. The only problem I would have is if you tried to keep him from them, unless that is his decision. It doesn't sound like that will be a problem. Keep being awesome. I'm sorry about your marriage. Not the asshole. You are a king. You, my man, are a good dude. Not the asshole. What you're doing is amazing and I wish your ex's family and her were grateful for you. Can I ask, does he have a legal guardian or is he allowed to sign contracts etc. himself? Because if either the guardian or he himself signs a contract, it's his choice to live where he wants to live. Alternatively, a doctor or therapist could help in being a mediator between your and ex, Brody and you. Someone Brody trusts, who could lead the discussion and let your ex know that Brody has the right to make his own choices. I also think it's in the best interest of everyone to be amicable and resolve this in a neutral way. Are you the same guy who let his ex-wife's father live with him too? Lol. Not the asshole. He should have the right to choose where he lives. Denying that shows disrespect towards him from his family. You might want to have a talk with you ex-in-laws. Because of the divorce your ex-wife won't think objectively for another few years, maybe they will. What is an emotional affair? Honestly, this made me smile. He's lucky to have you. What a beautiful soul you are. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, Brody is your bro and you two are lucky to have each other.